Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Canada Day for those Canadians out there. And in here, we're Canadian. Happy July the 4th, Independence Day for you Americans out there. It's the Overrated Experience Sports Betting Podcast, hosted by me, Kyle Blondin. Joined today, once again, after a week of absence. I couldn't really find the words there. The lady from upstairs. Hello.
Hello. I'm back.
You were just upstairs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So as for those who've joined us on a week-to-week basis, you know that you can follow us on Twitter at the Overrated Experience of Overrated EXPER2. That's Overrated EXPER2. Follow us on Twitter. Maybe you can join the circle of trust, and be part of our exclusive picks and comments related to the sports world. Or you can join us on our Facebook page at Overrated Experience Sports Betting Podcast to find out what this podcast is all about. When you listen, it's going to be about the latest sports news, comments, biggest stories, and obviously putting some money on some games, sports gambling. That's the initial idea of this whole podcast. We like to make some money. We like to lose some money. No, we don't like the lose part, but we do that a lot. And we're here to talk about sports and money and betting and overs and unders and money lines and whatever you can think of. We're going to talk about it. So a lot to talk about this week. We'll try to cram it in a short period of time. And we'll probably go off track more than we thought we would. And we're going to start off by talking about, we talked about it a little earlier before the show in our pre-production meeting.
Yes.
That, we talked about our Facebook page and we talked about the Overrated Experience Twitter handle. Mm-hmm. But last night, Facebook or Instagram or Mark Zuckerberg, whatever you want to call it. Meta. Launched what is an app called Threads, which is similar in a way to Facebook, and similar to Twitter, which is a direct competitor to Elon Musk and his recent purchase of Twitter. I download the app. Apparently need an Instagram account, so you look for the Overrated Experience to soon have an Instagram account because we got to get the word out there to all the audience out there. What's your initial thoughts of Threads? I know you haven't used it, but are you intrigued to give it a try? Are you going to hold off and see how it is? Like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I might hold off. Maybe I'll let you try it first. I try not to get too much into social media again, but it's something new. And yeah, maybe we'll see how you like it, and then maybe I'll jump on the wagon.
Well, it's about the sports world, how the sports world likes it, the Overrated Experience likes it, and the community out there likes it. It's Instagram and Threads would be based on the Overrated Experience versus the individual, and we'll see what happens. We'll take the weekend maybe to think it over.
Keep me posted.
I'll keep you posted, literally. All right, so that's one story that's out there right now that could impact the podcast. But one other big story out there to impact the podcast is ugly rumors that seem to be reported more and more and more. And that is the GOAT, Tom Brady, rumored to be dating the lady from upstairs. Who's he rumored to be dating?
Kim Kardashian.
Look.
It's a big sigh.
Look. I you know what? It's how many people have you seen so far comment on Twitter? Don't do it, Tom. Don't do it.
Yeah, lots of people.
On, man. Like, think about the draw. Like, that she's trying to hook, line, and sinker somebody into content for the next season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She is a relevant seeker, looking for any sort of. She's like Venom. It's like a symbiote that tries to attach themselves to somebody to survive. So Venom, aka Kim Kardashian, is looking to potentially attach herself to the GOAT, Tom Brady. So I just shake my head. I hope the rumors are not true. What are your initial thoughts of that?
I think it must be true.
What? No.
Yeah. Come on,
Tom Brady. Come on.
You're famous. You've got cameras following you around. You've got the paparazzi following you around. These rumors, they start as rumors, but as we all know, they are most likely true.
I'm not liking what I'm hearing here.
we'll see. I guess time will tell.
And then I don't have much other than what was reported today in the basketball world. Wembanyama, number 1 overall pick, phenom basketball player, has yet to even play his first summer league game for the San Antonio Spurs. But a developing story is that while eating at a restaurant at a casino in Vegas, that when he was attempting to leave, Britney Spears came up, and she states that she tapped him on the shoulder.
Did she jump really high?
I don't know how she can get him on the shoulder. 7'2".
Yeah.
And how tall do you think she is?
Oh, she's probably like 5'2", 5'3".
Let's see. So what do you think? What'd you guess?
5'2", 5'3".
Okay, let's see right here. Britney Spears. Would they say that on Wikipedia, or height?
Maybe.
Okay, let's see. She is not listed here.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. I don't have time to search for that. Anyway, she shoulder tapped Wembanyama, and one of his security team came up, backhanded her to brush her off. And so the story is that she states that she was hit and almost knocked to the ground, or knocked to the ground, but it sounded like almost knocked to the ground, and sunglasses are coming off. In my understanding is she's filed a police report, which if she feels that she was assaulted in a wrong manner, that's what she should be doing. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see what happens there, but a weird scenario. We'll see how that plays out. Any initial thoughts on that?
No, just going back to her height, I found out she's 5'4".
5'4". Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if she would reach the shoulder of a 7-footer, but I guess the police report will outline what exactly happened. So that's the world of sports drama that's out there right now. Now, speaking of drama, do you know what a bad beat is in the sports world? What's a bad beat?
Pretty much losing all your money.
I gotta tell my story. I take a sip of water as I tell the story. So, as you know, you guys that join us for the Sports Betting Podcast talk about bets, strategies, etc. to win or lose. But there are periods of time when, and you know this is true, that you feel the world is against you. The betting gods are basically sitting there watching your FanDuel account, or whatever account, your Bet365 account, and before they decide the future outcome of, say, event, they're waiting for you to put the money down so they can go the other way. And that's how I've been feeling for a while now. Whether it be baseball, whether it be, CFL action, whether it be MLS action recently, because that's really the only sports that are on right now in the summertime. It hit its peak of this roller coaster of what we call betting. And it doesn't make sense sometimes. July the 4th had a lot of games going on. So a lot of action, a lot of baseball action, MLS action. And the hope was, wow, let's get a fresh start on America's Independence Day and kick it off, with bets on baseball and leading up in the evening. So the day started out well. Started out with a bankroll. I'm going to say it. 1K of bankroll. All right. Start off betting, the 11 o'clock game, the over in the Cincinnati Washington game, no problem. As a couple games at the 1 o'clock timeline come in, it's going my way. And then I think as I hit the evening, I was like 1 of 9 on the next bet. Like 1 of 9. Like I'm talking about going left or right or up or down. How could I possibly go 1 of 9? But one of the games that stood out to me was the MLS game that was played at the Rose Bowl between LAFC and the LA Galaxy. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to save the night, save the evening. Do you know what that's called when you try to get all your money back?
Yeah, it's called desperate betting.
It is, but there's a betting term called you're chasing. You're chasing. Yeah. You're stupid by doing that. Mm-hmm. So the idea was I'll do a same game parlay, LA Galaxy, LAFC, in this big game at the Rose Bowl, late evening. So I decided to take over 2.5 goals. Do you think that hit?
No. Yes, sorry.
Yes, 3 goals, over 2.5 goals. Now I took 9 shots on target or more. Do you think that hit?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. No. Those are the two of the three that I thought were going to be the kind of iffy on this. This has got things got to work my way. What I thought was a gimme and throw me in to kind of boost my odds was the corner kicks. So over under was 7.5. Do you think I got the 7.5?
No.
No, I got 7, not 4, not 6. I got 7.
That hurts.
Now, why it hurts even more is that after, looking at the research, and as bettors out there, you want to look and analyze, put yourself in the best position to succeed, and try to use the data to guide your betting habits. So, just looking back a little further on this game, why would I take over 7.5? Do you know why I would take a 7.5? I'm not really looking for an answer, really.
Did you do research? A lot of research.
I did a lot of research. I really grabbed my chin a few times, and really rubbed it to make sure that I looked like I was intelligent.
Yeah.
I put on glasses and put it by my mouth. I even put on the jacket with patches to look like a professor. But you know what? What the information told me, LAFC, LA Galaxy, when it came to corners, the LA Galaxy in the last 8 games that they've played have had 8 corners or more. Not bad. That's a trend to me. But even more telling, if I look at LAFC, they had 19 straight games of 8 corners or more. 19 straight games.
Straight games. Straight games.
Of 8 corners or more. Okay? Then you look at the head-on-head matchup. LA Galaxy and LAFC. Going back to 2018, they also had 18 games straight of... They haven't had a game that went below, facing each other, since 2018. Under 8, less than 8 corners. So that analysis was pissed away all in one game. Just like that. Just poof. Bank account gone. Now poor me. I go into the next day thinking, what am I going to do with this? I'm down to like $1.30 out of the 1K that I had in there. So my old habit when I used to bet a lot, as a younger man, really the world was ahead of me until life came crashing down.
Really?
Was a lot of parlays, a lot of Hail Marys out there, a lot of 3-game, 4-game parlays on NFL Sunday, and sometimes I just pull it out of my ass. Right, I pull it out of my ass. I have very fond memories of just the Sunday nighter, the 5th game of a 5-game parlay. But when you look at the skill of betting that way over time is not going to be successful. Those multiple parlays. Even parlays in general. I think the pros will tell you that's not the way to go. However, desperate times call for...
Desperate measures.
Desperate measures. That's exactly it. So what I do is on the day after July 5th, decide to put that $1.30 on 4 games. Okay? 4 games. Astros Rockies over 9. Hits. Bam. There's 1 down. But hey, 3 more to go. I have over 7.5 on the Cincinnati Reds versus the Washington Nationals. Wasn't really sweating that too much because that game did finish pretty quickly over 7.5. I think we were at Red Lobster. I was sweating over something else. But so 2 games down. Yeah. I had an MLS game, the lone game that night. New York City FC taking on Charlotte in New York. I needed 2 goals. That one I sweat a little bit because that game was 1-0 for a lengthy period of time until New York tied it up in I think the 80th minute. So, bam, off the books. My last game to worry about was that Blue Jay game. Toronto Blue Jays, Chicago White Sox, alternative line over 7.5. Bam, the skies open up. Bet is void. Game is postponed. So now, my bankroll is up to 3 and change. Because if you have bet an over-under and the game does not complete, the game will be void. So that was off the book. So my 4-game parlay turns into a 3-game parlay, obviously, which is a lesser payout. So coming into today, right? So I think, okay, you know what? What am I going to do? You know what? Screw it. I'll ahead of time, I'll take 3 games. I'll do a 3-game parlay. I'll put all the 300 and change on it. So I decided to put another bet on the over in the Cincinnati Washington game, over 7.5. And that game's the first one to kick off that goes into the first inning and then start of the second inning, hits a rain delay. So we got, tarps on. Second game, Chicago Cubs going to Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman pitching for the Cubs. He is lighting up it looked like the Brewers had nothing going, and I needed that game to go over 7.5. Mm-hmm. So what occurs here is nothing's going on. Cubs get up 1-0. Then the Brewers late. There was what happens is an umpire that doesn't call a strike that should have been a strikeout, that leaves the inning go on a little longer. Christian Yelich, best hitter for Milwaukee, does hit a 3-run home run. Eventually it's 4-1. Cody Bellinger makes it 4-3. Got that in my belt. Move back to the Cincinnati-Washington game. This game is crawling. This game is not showing the offense I've seen the other day. So it's 3-3 going into the extra innings, actually. It actually gets to extra innings after Cincinnati tied it. First pitch, 2-run shot. And that's why I love the last couple of years. A lot of batters hate it. But the runner, the last out, starts on second as a ghost runner. Okay, or a zombie runner, as some people refer to. 2-run shot, 5-3. That game is under the books. All I got to do now is, again, I've taken the third leg of that parlay. I've taken the Toronto Blue Jays and the Chicago White Sox in game one of their doubleheader, took over 7.5. And you know what that payout's going to be? Do you know what that payout's going to be? It's going to get my money back. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get back to even Steven. I don't know who Steven is, but I'm going to get back to it.
Okay.
First inning, second inning, third inning. By the way, Lance Lynn pitching for the White Sox, who's been absolutely horrible and getting rocked by every other team under the sun, decides to come out with guns a-blazing, shut down the Blue Jays, and it just Barrios on the J side is shutting down the White Sox. Heading into the ninth inning, I think it was both teams had a combined 2 hits, one each, and the game is tied at 0-0. What do you think is going to happen to that over/under? What are the odds for me in that situation?
Yeah.
Very low, right?
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah. And then I'm already thinking, okay, new deposit. I need to get a new deposit in there. Let's check the old bank account. Let's check the cushions, see if I can find any change. Then we go to the extra inning. The Jays, in the top of the 11th inning, they scored 6 runs. I'm like, shit. I'm close. I'm very close, right? However, 6 runs, there's no way the White Sox are going to come back in the bottom and score 2 more runs. They have the runner on second. Bam, double. 6-1. I'm like, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And then Vaughn comes up for the White Sox. Broken bat. Shot to right field. Run scores. 6-2. Out of nowhere. They score 8 runs in 1 inning. Multiple hits all over the place. I get my win. Well, that just shows you, that just paints a picture of the betting world we live in. You can't buy a win. You can't, you just feel like the world is against you. Like it's predetermined that no matter what you take, you're going to lose. And then you go into some ridiculous low odd, multiple parlays over 2 days, and you get it all back just like that. So that's my betting story. There's bad beats in there. This is like a multiple chapter, maybe even a Netflix series. I think the documentary should be made about this 2-day adventure. But, it could go either way. I could be successful and then get crushed. But luckily this went the positive way where I was getting crushed and the story turned out great. And I really walked off into the sunset. Thank you. I think that's well deserved by me. So I want to share that story. I know many of you out there have been absolutely fucked by a lot of teams out there, and you can share my experience and probably brush off the 8-run extra innings versus remembering those bad beats way more than those victories. So have you ever had an adventure like that?
Yeah, I have. It's and sometimes, you can get lucky and sometimes you don't, right? You got very lucky.
It's not luck, it's skill. Just remember that.
Okay.
Okay? Jesus Christ, it's
and
skill.
what kind of skill happened to lose it all?
Well, that was a few days ago. Today's a different story.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So a lot of betting going on right now, so there's a lot of action that's non-traditional sports. So we have Wimbledon's going on. I don't know if you have a lot of tennis bettors out there. I did dabble in it. It wasn't successful. Part of the depletion of the original bankroll. But what about yourself? Have you ever bet tennis, and what are your thoughts on it?
No, I've never bet tennis, actually. It's one sport I've never been. I don't think I've ever bet golf either, or tennis.
Oh, golf's fun. Come on.
Curling. No. Just stick to the basics.
All right, so you don't love tennis.
I love tennis.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I love tennis. I love playing it, but am I good at it? No. Do I know how to bet it? No.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So tennis is on Wimbledon action, heading men's and women's action. A lot of things to bet on there. If you're really looking for a quick wager, afternoon wager, it's definitely there for you. Also, MLB. So that's the one we go to. So as the summer progresses, I'm starting to get more into MLB and paying more attention. Stuff's starting to stick on pitching matchups, etc. So we have a few plays going into the weekend. Lady from upstairs, did you have the opportunity to make some picks?
I did.
Okay, would you like to share
Let's
them?
see. Yes, let me bring up my picks here. So tomorrow, the Braves versus Rays, I picked the over 8.5.
And what was your reasoning and rationale?
I think it's just low. I mean, it's a high scoring team, so I think it was at 115 when I took it. So I think it'll be over. That's it.
And what was the over again?
8.5.
8.5, okay.
No other analytics to show or tell. Then I have the Phillies and Marlins, and I took the Phillies to win outright.
Okay.
That's at minus 125. And then I took the Jays and Tigers to go over 9.
Okay.
Okay. Based on the pitcher. And then I took the Cubs and the Yankees to go over 8.5. And last but not least, I took the Royals and the Guardians for the over 8.5.
The Royals and the Guardians, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's my thoughts going into tomorrow's ball games. I also will be taking the Atlanta-Tampa Bay game. This is, to me, probably the standout series, or one of them. I originally thought this was a no-brainer as the best series of the weekend. However, there's a few more when you really look at the docket to pay attention to. Now, Chad Morton's on the mound for the Braves. Glasgow's on the mound for Tampa Bay. I'm looking at the plus here, plus 102 for Atlanta as the underdog, as the best team in baseball to be the underdog. Glasgow has been struggling. He hasn't been lights out. Morton's been solid, and the Braves got the best offense and best team in baseball, hands down. There's no question about it. There's no debate. The Braves are the defending World Series champions. Sorry, not the defending champions, but they're the best team in baseball. Okay, right now they're the best team in baseball, and you take them as the underdog. And throughout the rest of the weekend, they have. I think they have some great pitching matchups in the series, and look for the Sunday matchup. I think Strider and Efren to be maybe a tighter game. So really watch this series. I think you'll enjoy it. Toronto, Detroit. We talked about you took the over. Mm-hmm. I think there's value on Detroit here. Alex Manoah is returning to the rotation for the Toronto Blue Jays. As you know, if you've been following the Blue Jays and or just baseball in general, the Jays did send him down to Florida to kind of find himself because he was getting lit up. He was actually the pitcher that was at the game we were at against the Yankees, and he got destroyed. Right? He got destroyed, and that basically what was happening for every start he was out there. He was just getting lit up. So I'm a little skeptical that he's going to make a return where he's going to be lights out. The Tigers stink. They suck. But the Blue Jays offense, with the exception of one inning today, has been horrible as well. And throwing Manoah on the mound, I like the plus 126 as a good value pick. Another series worth watching as the NL Central will probably. You're hoping it comes down to the Reds still being in the race because they've been probably one of the brightest stories. They take on the Brewers in Milwaukee, and they got. I like the over in this one. Good pitching matchup. Burns, Abbott for the Reds. Burns has been lit up the last couple games. So I like the Reds like scoring runs. They're just involved in games to score runs, and at over 8 plus 100, I like it. So I think there's value there, and that's a series to watch all weekend long too. And that's great. Probably a good live and play games for over unders and just exciting stuff involved in that. And if you've been watching the Cincinnati Reds today, or even any other day, that their star right now, their star, Dela Cruz, Eli Dela Cruz, switch hitting youngster. He's got power, speed, height. He's defense. He's the ultimate star that Cincinnati has now. He's worth tuning in, watching. And, the game 2 nights ago, he just jacked. If you didn't see the story, he jacked like a 450-foot home run. But the Washington Nationals, in the previous at bat, asked the umpires to check his bat to see if there was any foreign substances or something. Yeah. So as he jacked the home run, as the ball was in flight, he turns around to the umpire like, "You want to check the bat now?" Right? So he's worth the money to watch. So tune in, watch him. Dela Cruz. In my last play for tomorrow night, right now the Mets and Justin Verlander travel to San Diego to take on Yu Darvish and the San Diego Padres. The over-under is 8, and guess what? I'm going to take the under in that game. Under. Under where? Under in that game. But that's my few wagers. Some exciting matchups throughout the whole weekend. Baseball. Please, I'm just trying to throw out a couple other series that are probably worth watching and keeping an eye on going into the weekend. So, Dodgers, Angels. There's Ohtani. I don't know what his time frame. No Trout, obviously. So that Angels are limping into Los Angeles. Reds, Brewers, like I said, is going to be a great matchup. Just the visual of the Cubs in New York. It's exciting to watch. And just keep an eye out in the Texas-Washington matchup. There might be a lot of runs scored there. I don't really have a good sense right now, but what's going on there. But keep an eye on it. And find the Phillies and Marlins matchup on Sunday. Watch out for a great pitching matchup for Aaron Nola versus Jesus Luzardo. Those are 2 lights-out pitchers. And the last game Aaron Nola was in against the Tampa Bay Rays, he was absolutely dominant. So that may be a low-scoring game, but a pitching matchup worth watching. So that's the baseball story this weekend. It is All-Star Monday, or All-Star Tuesday in the Bigs. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Okay. So Monday is the home run hitting contest. If you guys are baseball fans, and I'll tell you right now, the Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of the All-Star Week are the ugliest betting days because there's nothing. There's nothing out there. It's so dull and bland that if you're looking for something to bet on, and I haven't looked at it yet, you can bet on the Home Run Derby. You can bet on the All-Star Game. There's a whole bunch of things to look at, so look at a bunch of props there. But it's really a dead period. So enjoy this period of time at the weekend until the MLT shuts down and gets back in midweek or later next week. So just take note of that, lady from upstairs. Okay, MLB will be few and far between after Sunday. Okay. And there's no Sunday night games, so because last games are at 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Wow, you're right. Boring.
That is boring. So, what else to look at? Well, big UFC card, International Fight Week, UFC 290, taking place live from Las Vegas, one of the later cards going on. And it's interesting matchups, two title matchups. And you love the UFC, right? I know you're not necessarily know who's fighting, but lady from upstairs, you love enjoying a good UFC on a Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A little wine and, yeah.
Little or some?
Okay, a lot.
Okay, a lot of wine. Yeah. So Alexander Volkanovski, the champ, is taking on interim champ Yair Rodriguez for the featherweight championship. Now, here's the situation. Volkanovski is the probably pound for pound could be considered one of the best fighters in the world, and Yair Rodriguez is a phenomenal fighter. but maybe just a step out of his league. So it's hard to place a wager on that one, as Volkanovski's already a minus 400. So I'll probably maybe keep an eye on this a little closer to fight time to look at some of the prop bets, how the fight's going to finish, etc. See what happens. Brendan, there's also, again, another championship fight, Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. What are you laughing at me for?
Nothing.
So now
Brandon Moreno.
Whatever, Moreno. Brandon Moreno is a minus 194. Now the interesting part is he has already lost twice to Pantoja.
Okay.
He's lost twice. But that was a long time ago. So Moreno's the champ, the favorite, but lost twice to this fighter. It's just an interesting caveat to this situation on Saturday. So again, I don't have a play here. But it's exciting times. So look at your card. Really look at some of the online previews of the fight. There's a lot of good insight online to maybe make up your mind on where you're going to take the money. So that's that when it comes to the big things going on the weekend. I'm trying to think what else. What other news is out there, lady from upstairs, in the sporting world? Anything worth talking about?
No, I think you've covered it all. I haven't really been watching a lot of sports this week or sports news, I have to admit.
That's good. It's
I
great
rely on
to
you.
have you as a guest on the podcast for sports and sports betting related items when you just admit it, you've not kept up. That's fantastic. Anyway, the quality program we provide you, the listener, is outstanding on a week-to-week basis. Anyway, we're going to move away and we're going to end episode 44 and make it short and sweet. Enjoy your baseball while it lasts, folks. The pleasure's been all yours. We're over and out. Bye-bye.